Video Master John Curtis. It is Chess School, and tonight we're featuring the rampaging monkey brain moves in Chess School. Okay, and after we finish showing you the game by Monkey Brain Moves, who plays the mighty Dragoon 35. And we'll be showing you a game against the Sofia bot, rated 2300 on chess.com. You're the AI bot. Okay, so let's get into the game. Firstly, who is Monkey Brain Moves? Well, Monkey Brain Moves, his name is Nathan, and I believe he's from the United States. And he in 2022, he once played a 1700 plus player. Since then he hasn't really beaten a 1700 plus player, and so he sent me a message on chess.com to let me know that how thrilled he was to win a game, and he played superb chess. The last time he played a 1700 plus player and won, it was against Broken Nero, who was rated 1740, and at that time Monkey Brain Moves played a game of chess in the lower percentage of accuracy, let me say, and his opponent Broken Nero, this is back in 2022, his opponent blundered a piece. And so Monkey Brain Moves won in 18 moves. So it wasn't really a victory based on skill. There was a bit of luck involved. And though it was a reasonable win, he certainly had a bit of luck. And so now what we're going to do is we're going to look at this game here by the mighty Monkey Brain Moves, playing the black pieces. Dragoon 35 from Australia, playing white. Okay, and so here we go. We're going to get back into the game. Knight f6 is played. The game was played in the Chillers Weekly. I think it's 10 minutes with increments. Knight f3, d5 is played. We have a symmetrical position, and when we have a symmetrical position like this, it's a good way to play a stronger player. I think Monkey Brain Moves has worked this out. If he has a little bit of a symmetrical position, it puts more pressure on the other player on the other side of the board to produce the goods, to get the win, doesn't it? And he may or she may overreach their position. E3 was played, c5, and Monkey Brain Moves messaged me. He said, "Oh, thank you, John, for your videos, because you taught me to play a move like c5 and put the knight behind it on c6. And similarly with the English opening, if you play c4, right, you know, it's like c4 over this side, you put the knight on c3, right? So it's a very good system for beginners, right? b3 is played, and now knight c6. And as you can see, if the pawn takes the pawn, Monkey Brain Moves can simply play e5 and get a good game. Bishop b2 is played, and Monkey Brain Moves plays e6. He develops his bishop, and at the same time he protects his pawn chain, he builds his pawn chain. Knight b-file to d2, white's developing rapidly. So Dragoon 35 knows what he's doing. Bishop d6 is played by Monkey Brain Moves. A good developing move, prepares to castle. Right, so a3 is played. Now this is a good move, I believe, because in some variations white wants to take the pawn and then play b5. Castles by black, bishop d3, and now white wants to just castle and then maybe take the pawn. But rook e8 is played, and now knight e5. Now, after rook e8, black wants to play this equalising move, e5. It'd be an equal game if he can get that move in. But knight e5 by white, good move, good idea. C takes d4, excellent play by Monkey Brain Moves. E takes d4. Now, E takes d4 is played. Queen c7. Queen c7 is played, and now black has got three pieces, the bishop and the knight and the queen, all on this pawn. F4 is played, and now a6 is played, right? Black is just playing a solid position and wants to see what white will do. White castles, good move. b5 is played. Okay, so b5 is played. I suppose black might want to play queen to b6. c4 is played. And now Monkey Brain Moves, looks at the position, and he makes a very logical choice. He plays logical chess, move by move. The next two moves by Monkey Brain Moves I think are very good. B takes c4, pawn takes, rook hits bishop, and now queen c2 is played. Now there's a problem with queen c2, it's queen b6. Right? Now the correct move in this position might be knight takes knight, right? Because you're beyond the castle. It might be the best move in what is otherwise a bad position. I'll tell you why. Look, a file to b8 was played, but here comes the blockbuster, knight d4. And Monkey Brain Moves has just busted his more experienced opponent open with the accurate play in the opening middle game. Bishop takes d4. Queen takes check, because it's with check. King moves to h1. Now rook takes b1. And Monkey Brain Moves is following that old theory that if you've got an extra material, you swap off all the pieces. Rook takes b1, and now he played bishop takes e5. Well, in actual fact, he could play queen takes pawn, right? He could play queen takes pawn. It's not a bad move, queen takes pawn, but he doesn't. He just takes the knight, and after f takes, queen takes e5, and now Monkey Brain Moves has got a superior position with 3, 4, 5, 6 pawns against 4, but you've still got to win the game. Queen D, where are we? Bishop takes, queen takes e5, knight f3, queen to d6, c5 was played. This is a pretty, this pawn can't go anywhere. Black can simply play queen c7, and push the e pawn forward, right? Let's see how Monkey Brain Moves plays. Well, he plays queen c8, right? And it's not a bad move. His opponent chooses rook b6, but the situation can't be held. Queen c7 is really well played now. Knight is a real threat on that pawn. a4 is played. He wants to connect with his castle so that he can free himself up. But knight to d7, attacking the castle and attacking the pawn twice. Rook to b4 is played. Now queen takes c5. Queen to d2 is played. He's trying to avoid the exchange of queens. Knight to b6 is played. Knight to g5, he's attacking the h-pawn. h6, he says, go away. And now white plays knight f3, but he hasn't achieved anything. Now knight c4 is played, queen e1. Knight e3, good move. Rook to d4 is played, threatening the knight. Knight to c2. Well, the knight hasn't got a good square, has it really? So knight here is probably the correct way to play. Knight's got to go back. White has outplayed black a little bit here. Knight to c2 is played. Queen c1 and it's pinned. And that what happens now? Well, black's got lots of pawns, but he's not doing very well. Queen takes queen to c, queen to c2, queen to a1 check. And now look, in this position, this is an excellent move. White, is it a background checkmate? No. But if you move the queen in, all the pieces are held. And white's a piece up. But there's so many terrible pawn attacking moves. These pawns are so strong. And white doesn't want to exchange queens. He's hoping to get an attack. But after knight g1, he's dropped his castle. So monkey brain moves at the rampaging monkey brain moves is eating his opponent alive. Queen c6, rook f8, he just protects his castle. Bishop to a6. He's hoping to get a passed pawn now. And he's hoping white will just play badly. But he just takes it off, takes back, and then queen to b4. Very logical move. h3 is played. What else? Rook to b8. And now he's got control of these squares. Queen to a7. He says, oh, I want to put pressure on you. He played queen to b7. He says, no, I'll put pressure on you. And he went queen c5. And then rook a8 just attacks the pawn, and you can't defend this pawn. a5 is played, and now queen to a6, king h3, queen takes pawn, and queen d6, queen d8, queen c there. And it's in this position, monkey brain moves can play queen to b8, pinning the queen against the king, and black wins easily. d4 is played, knight f3 is played, d3 starts pushing this pawn, knight moves back to get a blockade, rook c8, he says, you're not going to blockade me, my name is Monkey Brain Moves. Queen f4 is played. And after that move, we get a quick rundown. Queen c7, he finally works out that the queen can pin against the queen. King to g3, queen takes check, king takes, rook c2, a big threat, king e3, if you move the knight you'd lose the g-pawn, rook c3, you should just take the knight off, you'll find out this out in a minute, rook c2, king takes d3, but to be fair to Monkey Brain Moves, he's only got 29 seconds on the clock. Rook takes d2, king takes d2, f5, he's got 36. Thank God for the increments. He's pushing his pawn. King d4, king f7. King e5, White's trying to get a pawn back. King e7 opposition. g3 is played h5. King to d4, king f6, king e3, g3, h4, e5, king f2. And black's killing white. f4 takes and takes, and king g2. I think white's hoping for a stalemate. King f5, king f2, king e4. And he finishes off the game nicely after a few checks and a few little moves here. Pushes his pawns up. Takes the lone pawn that's left. King h1, king g4. Actually, that's a very, it's a good idea. In this position, he could go for a queen, but he doesn't. He's got a minute and 9 seconds. You wouldn't want to lose on time and not get a draw. So if you take the pawn off the last pawn, you're guaranteed at least a draw. So that's the correct move. King h1, king g4, and now king g1, h4. Here he goes. He's just pushing his pawns. He wants to make sure of the win. A little check there. King h, queen to g3. King goes back. King g1. he wants to get another queen. He says, I'm very good with 2 queens, does the rampaging monkey brain moves. King H1 equals queen, king to D2, king there. And now he's worked out, monkey brain moves has worked out a checkmate, a fast checkmate. He plays king E2, king H3, key move, king D2, then the check, and the king's forced to go on the back rank, and it's checkmate. Delivers checkmate against a player rated nearly 1,000 points more than him. It's actually about 800 rating points more than him. Anyway, I'm going to show you one more game very, very quickly. I'm going to go into my game history. Congratulations to Monkey Brain Moves. I'm now going to show you a game between... Monkey Brain Moves played the game at a very high level, right? So he... the old monkey brain. I'm going to show you a game that I played against the Sofia bot, 2,300. I played at 93.4% accuracy, and I used somewhat of the technique that Monkey Brain Moves used. Because I'm playing a higher rated player, I thought to myself, I'll just play a strong, steady game and wait for a mistake. Just play a strong, steady game, no risk chess, okay? So I'll show you how I did this in 81 moves. That's right, 81 moves. I played 3 games against Sofia bot, and I won all 3 games. So it was quite delightful. E6, knight f3, d5, g3, knight f6. Just make sure you can see the board, and you can. That's great. Bishop g2, bishop e7, d4 castles, knight c3. And we've got the Queen's Gambit decline. This is the Catalan opening. c5 is played, takes, and castles. So I'm just trying to keep a balance in the position. Knight c6, d takes pawn, bishop takes pawn, and now bishop g5. We pin the knight that protects the pawn. Pin the knight to the queen that protects the pawn. The plan is to take the knight and take the pawn if black doesn't do anything clever. d4 is played, and now we just play knight to e4, develop a piece. Bishop e7 is played, we take the bishop, takes back, knight takes f6, queen takes f6. I just played queen to d2. Black played bishop e6. Played rook on the f file to d1. Idea is knight takes pawn. Rook a file to d8 is played, over-protecting the central pawn. So I thought, well, I'll play knight g5 and threaten the bishop. I thought, well, that's not a bad idea because, well, what's the worst thing that can happen to me? However, I thought bishop here was a better move, but wasn't played. h6 was played. I thought, that's not so good, so I took the bishop off. Queen takes back. Then I thought, well, I might as well take the knight too, because of the bad situation with the pawn structure, with black trying to hold the pawn structure. So I took that, pawn takes back. Now, in this position, when we look at this position from a chess school perspective, we can see that these pawns are split, right? They're split. This one is a backward pawn. He needs to connect them, but we're not going to give him a chance. So the first move we play is queen to d3. Queen to d3 basically protects this square. We don't want him to be able to push this pawn through. So we're readying ourselves. Rook h file to e8. He's threatened the pawn. Well, he's hoping that I won't play accurately, but I'll play rook to d2. And you'll see that this is the winning technique. The pawns are all protected along the rank. c5 is played, and now b3. And it's in this position that black starts to come unstuck somewhat. Black probably should try a move like pawn here and pawn there, something like that, I believe. Queen G6 is played, offering exchange of queens, and I thought, well, when I take the queen and the pawn takes back, the A.I.BOT Sofia takes back, the Sofia bot's got double G pawns, right, which are weak again. So the pawn structure for black is weak. Rook C1, we threaten their pawn, right? So we develop a piece, we put it on the semi-open file, and we threaten the pawn. Rook to E5 is played. E3 is played. And the reason for this move, E3, is to attack this central pawn and try to start swapping off the pressure in the middle of the board. So I can win on the queen side. D3 is played. And I thought, well, hold a minute, what on earth are you doing here, Rook D3? So I played Rook C3. I thought, well, I just threaten the pawn. Play Rook E5 to D5. Played E4, and then I hit the castle. And now the castle's got some problems. The castle went back. At this stage now, I could take a pawn off. So I thought, no, I'm going to play F3, keep my pawns connected, and just play king here and take it all off. Knight F, King F7 was played, King F2, because in an endgame, I believe that you've got to use your king as a fighting piece, especially if there's no checkmates. Rook to B6, King up, and now you can see the counterplay occurring. Rook C6, Rook takes D3, Rook takes D3, and now King takes. I want to play King here and King there and Queen and take this pawn off. Rook A6 is played, going for counterplay. I played Rook C2, just shifted back one to protect all my pawns. Rook F6 is played, attacking a pawn. Play F4 and push him. Rook checks, hoping that I'll play King up so I can take a pawn with check. I'll play King E3. G5 is played, and I thought, well, this is the living end. I'll just take that off. King goes there. And now pawn takes check. King takes, pawn takes. And we proceeded to play Rook C4. King there, right? Now we play B4. And the whole idea of this move is to capture the pawn and go for a queen. Because we've got an extra pawn or two, haven't we? Rook A6 is played. This is a great move. B takes C5. We're going for a queen. King E5. I played C6. I thought, I'm going for a queen. I've got a rook behind my pawn. Rook check. King F there. King F3. Check. King G2. Rook checks. King F3. And now King G4. And now the black's got a problem. He can't stop the pawn. H5 check, king to H4, Rook F3, C7, going for a queen, goes back, takes, King E4, Rook A8, King E3, Rook A7, King F3, King takes pawn, King G2, and now we wrap up the end of the game quite quickly. We just push our pawns. We decided to put him in a mating net. G6, King G3, G7, King there, pawn equals queen, King there. And now Rook F3 check, King to H2, one more check, and mate follows. Queen to G2, checkmate. Okay? And that's how we beat the Sofia bot. Okay, that's how we beat the Sofia bot today. I hope you found the game interesting. One of the things most interesting about the position was, how do you win the position from here? From this position here, where is it? Yes, this position here, F2, Rook, oh no, C6. There we go. So Rook there, yeah. Rook there. You want to get that pass pawn. Right, so that's how we managed to get the win in the game. I hope you enjoyed it. With that, I'm going to say God bless you all. God bless your families. From me, from my good friend Grandmaster Teddy, and our team. Our team consists of a moo cow and a honeybee. And where is he? Where's that little character that I had? Oh, there he is. I don't know whether it's a chipmunk or a squirrel. You tell me. Put it in the notes on YouTube. What you can do is you can give me the thumbs up on the YouTube video, or if you'd like to make a donation to the YouTube channel, then I'll certainly acknowledge your gift. But my PayPal link is in the video description. Okay, so until next time, it's Fido Master John Curtis and his sidekick Grandmaster Teddy waving a goodbye. Okay, cheerio now.